Life is a journey. Life is a journey that we must sail through safely. And God expects each one of us to sail through the journey of life safely. Now, this journey of life comes with a lot of decisions that we make. And our decisions or indecisions will rather take us to our destinations or not, or will cause much hurt in the journey of life. Now, the Bible said when they set off or they started the journey, when you have the time, read Acts chapter 27. Now, the Bible said in verse number 4 that when they had launched from thence, we sailed under Cyprus because the winds were contrary. Now, I'm going to speak some few things to you which will bless your life. Number one, the warnings of God. In this journey of life, there are warnings at every step that we take. And God, by his mercies, will always warn us of the journey that we take, the steps that we take in this life. God will bring warnings. Sometimes they may come through signs, they may come through dreams, they may come through many forms, but they are the warnings of God. Now, Julius is a centurion. A centurion is a leader of 100 soldiers. And if you read the scripture, when they take up every ship, automatically by his position, he becomes the captain of the ship. So Julius is someone like I call a captain of the ship. And I just want you to know that you are the captain of your ship. And the Bible said when they launched, they wanted to pass by through Asia to get to their destination. And the Bible said when they launched, the winds were contrary. That was the first sign that God was giving them, that this journey that you are taking may be dangerous. God was bringing a warning to their notice. God was warning them of the journey that they were taking, that you have to wait, or you have to take caution. The Bible said the wind was contrary. In other words, immediately they launched, there was an opposing force. There was something that was opposing the way that they were taking. And sometimes in the journey of life, we step into a journey or we step into a phase and we encounter opposition. And sometimes the oppositions are warnings for us to take step or caution, or to enter into a place of prayer for the cause or the journey that we are taking. It could be that you enter school. You've gotten admission, you just came to school, but something, immediately you step into the atmosphere, something happened. God is warning you, or God is telling you that the atmosphere you have stepped in, it needs a certain grace or a certain power or a certain wisdom to undertake that journey. And many times, many people overlook the warnings of God and they suffer for it. And I have seen many people going through distress, and in the times and moments of distress, they don't remember how God warned them, how God wanted to order their steps. But they remember the pain, or they only see the pain they are going through at that moment. But God might have been warning them for a season or for a period, and they had ignored the warnings of God. And sometimes the warnings of God will not only come once. Now, let's go to verse number 7. And when we had sailed slowly many days, and scarce was come over against Cnidus, the wind not suffering us. So the wind arose a second time. God was giving them warning that where you are going, the path you are taking is dangerous. Sometimes it may be your life, a certain decision that you are making, and God will be coming at you, sometimes in your dream, sometimes at church, and the message will be coming directly towards you, and you know that God is speaking to you. You know that, no, this is for me. God is telling me something. But I see believers who with a hardened heart reject the warnings of God. The Bible said the wind was not suffering them. The first one, it was contrary, but this time, it was like a stop block. It was like a barrier. It was not suffering them. They were hardly moving. The Bible said they sailed slowly for many days. It was as if someone was pulling the boat. Stop! Someone was pulling the ship, or something was in front of the ship saying, my brother, stop. Julius, don't go forward anymore. This is the end of your, park for some days and listen to my voice and continue the journey. Sometimes God may be talking to you, let this go. Let it go. You might have been holding on to something by yourself, by your emotions, by your feelings, and God might have been talking to you some way, somehow, but yet you might have been holding on to it, and God might have been telling you, stop, go, let it go, my daughter, let it go, my sister. God did not only want them a first time, a second time, but there was a third time. Verse 9. Now when much time was spent, and when sailing was what? Now dangerous, because the fast was now already past, Paul admonished them. So the warnings of God, then the admonition of God. Then Paul said, by divine revelation or by the voice of God, Paul could pick up in the spirit to communicate to them as a man. Now this is sometimes the next step that God takes. Sometimes God may be speaking to you through his word, speaking to you through signs, speaking to you in dreams, and when you are still holding on to it, God will use a man to come and tell you. So this time your friend can come to you, I had a dream about this and this, and that was not good. I had a dream about you and this, and God is trying his best, doing everything he can to say stop it. And that is why on the day of judgment, nobody can blame God, because nobody goes to hell blindfolded. Nobody goes to hell blindfolded. You may say there are people who are born into another religion. God has so many ways of speaking to them. But when a man is overcome by religion, he will not lay down religion and take up the Christ. None of us here can blame God, because some way, somehow, God might have been speaking to us. Then Paul spoke to them and said, please, let's stop it, because this journey will be of much hurt. It will not only be for the lading or the ship, but for our lives. Sometimes the journey or the decisions you take in life may not only be for you, it could be for your entire family. Certain decisions you take today that is contrary to scripture, that is against the will of God, could affect your entire family. Maybe you are the Abraham in that family. Maybe God has raised you as that David in the family to bring light, to bring peace, to bring restoration in that family. But you are taking a journey that the whole family will sink. A decision that will sink an entire family. And that is why God is chasing you and saying stop and take the right decision. You may be connected to a nation. You may be connected to a continent, to a family. And God is saying the journey you are taking could be of much hurt. The journey you are taking could bring a people down, could bring a nation down, brother. You have taken a journey that the wind is opposing you. Now God has come through a man to say, stop.